Hello Taurus, welcome to your reading for March the 21st through to the 28th, 2026. And yeah, it's going to be general, so please take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. And yeah, we're going to welcome in the Archangels, Ascendant Masters, Light Beings, Spirit Guides, our high selves, any animal or ancestral or dragon guides that may be present with you as well at the moment, Taurus, are most welcome. Okay, wow, Ace of Swords. We're going to grab that and we're going to take that one as well. I'm going to get a couple off the bottom here for you. So it's looking like there's either been a decision that you're looking at making, and there's also been this sort of like an insight or something that's come in, or an idea that you've had, and maybe you're looking to, because the aces are potential. So I think what you could even be feeling into here, Taurus, is that this idea you've had has a lot of potential, okay, and you're pretty curious about it, and you're probably feeling inspired and even maybe aligned, like maybe it's your personal truth thing here. And maybe there's a decision around this that you're looking to make. I'm just going to grab a couple of cards here as well. So we've got at the moment, yeah, you're looking at your options at the moment. And there could well be something else that you are dealing with here at the moment. There could be something that's preoccupying you here, Five of Cups. So maybe even though perhaps, you know, something else has happened in your life that I think you're dealing with. And the Seven of Cups here is about, I think, the options in terms of this decision. There may be more than one option open to you with regard to that. You know, this idea you've had, there's probably lots of parts to it, and maybe there's options. Okay. An underlying theme, you've got the Page of Cups and the Five of Wands. So it's sort of looking like here that if you're working through some grief or some disappointment here at the moment, when that sort of dissolves a bit and you are able to sort of turn around and look at these other cups here that are kind of on offer, I feel like that this reading is saying that there will be some sort of respite from that, or it will improve, situations will improve. So you have the Page of Cups here, sorry. This is a new love, a new thing, right? And it could be to do with this ace here as well that has all this potential, this idea for you. And it's also about, with this new thing, whether it's, you know, it could be something creative, emotional, might be a form of creative artistic expression, or maybe using your intuition or something, anything to do with the cups realm, okay? And you're going to be honing your skills in that area. Five of Wands. But there could also be some challenges with you moving into this energy. But, you know, I like to read this card as like that thing of honing skills and of overcoming obstacles so that you can move into what it is that you love to do, or continue to do what it is that you love to do. Okay, here, Taurus. So that was like an underlying theme, which is, you know, and on the emotional front, things are going to improve. There might be something new that you'll move into, and I think you'll be kind of, you know, navigating any challenges around that, but also doing any learning that you feel anything you need to learn. You know, and it could also simply just be read as something that you love to do, you're going to be learning more about. Okay. Nine of Wands and the Knight of Cups, general direction moving forward. So here you are with this cup energy again. So over the next, you know, few months, or maybe it will start in this week, you know, between the 21st and the 28th, you might be sort of stepping up your emotional input or feeling into this like love vibration a bit more. And, you know, it's like there could be challenges around that, but it's sort of like if something here is wrapping up for you, Taurus, and then it's sort of like, this could be a supportive person that's going to help you to move forward from this, if this is sort of coming to an end. I feel like maybe this decision is sort of around, maybe you're looking at changing jobs or stopping working for a while or something like that. You know, this could be a decision around, you know, you've had this idea that, you know, maybe you're going to change what you're doing or move out of relationship, maybe move location where you're living or change jobs completely, okay? Because sometimes when we make decisions like that, you know, there can be an element of aspects of, you know, sadness about it because we're kind of letting something go. And that can sort of, and then you're sort of looking at your options, okay? This sort of makes sense. But things are going to get better. I mean, with some effort and fine-tuning and possibly learning and maybe, you know, bouncing off of other people, you know, things are going to improve, okay? General movement is that, you're going to be moving on from this Page of Cups into the Knight of Cups. So you're going to up your, and the wand count has increased too from 5 to 9. So whatever you sort of start here, you're going to be sort of moving into mastery. And that actually makes more sense to me, sorry. Sometimes I've got to read things a couple of times before it all sinks in. So you're progressing to the Knight and you're moving up to the Knight of Wands, which is mastery. So general direction is that this thing you're going to possibly start, you will advance in and you will become proficient at it. Let's get some spirit guidance now as well. Sorry, not spirit guidance. I'm jumping ahead. Some possible outcomes and challenges. You know, what could the outcomes and challenges look like for you, Taurus? Okay, let's have a look here. You have the Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Pentacles, Awakening, and the Chariot. Wow, yeah, okay. So this is actually divine timing at the moment. You know, it's the Wheel of Fortune is like, you know, a cycle, but it's also like moving with the seasons, moving with, you know, the seasons of your life. So maybe there is a transition that you're going through. And the 7 is definitely that energy of consolidation, reflection, looking back over everything that you've achieved, everything you've worked for here, Taurus. And, you know, as a way of considering what your next move is going to be. Okay, so this is just saying that this new thing that you're kind of, you know, it started with the idea, then it's like moving into the Page of Cups, which could be, you know, focusing on your emotions, your emotional well-being, your creativity, spirituality, progressing into that Knight level of that. And in terms of challenge, your challenge may be in perhaps recognizing that this could well be a part of your actual awakening. So a part of your coming into balance and alignment with your higher self and your spiritual purpose, your spiritual and physical body, you know, emotional, mental, intellectual, everything sort of coming together. This is the Chariot is that preparation of moving forward into a holistic expression of yourself. And it's, you know, it's about tuning into spirit, your spiritual self, I guess being practical, covering yourself practically, getting extra support, whether that's, you know, family, friends, or cultivating support for your next move. And yeah, I mean, you could be, I mean, this energy here, Taurus, if the Three of Cups here, the three spilled cups are very, metaphorically speaking, if they are draining your energy a lot, if there's a lot of focus in that area of loss, then, this thing about moving forward is going to be challenging, okay? So, but we need to, the grief process, if that's something you're going through, needs to be done in its time. It takes the time that it takes, right? There's not much point rushing through that, okay? However, getting support could be a good idea. And yeah, there's been a call. So this is a call, and maybe in terms of, these are two powerful major arcana, by the way. They're in your challenge. So we get some spirit guidance, but so the other thing that we could pop in there is that this idea that you've had about moving forward in this, into something kind of new, it could be more important than you realize currently. It could eventually have more of a positive impact on your life than you currently realize or see. But use your own discernment with that, okay? If your gut is sort of resonating with that idea, then this is confirmation. But if there's something in you that's going, well, I really don't know if I should be doing this, it's not, I don't think it is a big thing or whatever, then go with your internal barometer, okay? Your internal compass. Yeah. Let's get some spirit guidance, because the challenge cards are always sort of held in potential. Sometimes it can just be that, okay, those energies are a little bit blocked, or maybe they're just not apparent to you at the moment, but maybe they will become apparent, okay? Seven of Pentacles again. So you're definitely in a consolidation phase. You had the Seven of Pentacles in your possible outcome. So Spirit's saying take the time to, and I love how this person here is looking at things that are growing. I think she's harvesting, like there's a knife there, like she's harvesting mushrooms. But it's about being careful in terms of, for you Taurus, careful about, what seeds are you planting, okay, and what are you wanting to reap in the future. I think Spirit's sort of suggesting that you take a really close look at that. You also have this awesome spirit guide here, Ascendant Master, I think, Serapis Bey, Sun God Ra, King of Wands. Oh, it's the Sun God Ra, sorry, I thought it was a bit like there, Serapis Bey, Ascendant Master. King of Wands. So this is talking about your passion, Taurus, your ability to be enthusiastic about something, and I think maybe you or you have that ability to throw yourself in, okay? Three of Cups, which is joy, so that's reminding you to do what makes you feel happy. And on the bottom of the deck, we also have the Magician. So that's sort of saying here, Taurus, and Spirit's kind of reminding you that you have a lot of elements at your disposal. You have a lot of potential. And if this thing that you're, this thing could be something that you really love, this Page of Cups, okay? This was your underlying theme. It's like you could be wrestling a little bit internally as to whether or not you move into that. Spirit's saying, reminding you to do what makes you feel happy. Okay, emotional fulfillment is important. Okay, and because it helps to sustain over the long term. And doing some careful consideration too. The interesting thing, and I've just really loved this, is that the Chariot is the number 7. Okay, and you have the Seven of Pentacles twice. So Spirit's sort of saying that in order for you to prepare for this bigger thing of moving forward, you know, the Chariot, this could be, this can incorporate like months of preparation, maybe even, you know, years. It talks about self-development, personal growth as well, a whole lot of things that you do to get yourself into a position where you can move forward in the way that you would like. Spirit's saying to do that, you know, take the small steps, the Seven of Pentacles, do the self-reflection, you know, crunch the numbers if there's numbers that need to be crunched, do some planning, see what support you can get, but also looking, you know, and being practical, you know, is this something that you can practically do, or what could you practically do? And, you know, what seeds are you planting here? Okay. And also if you are reaping maybe from this other experience, maybe if you're, the idea was to stop something previous, maybe there's something that you can reap from that you can use to move forward that will take, you know, maybe there's some, what do we call it, transferable skills. Okay. Magician, yeah. You have all the elements, fire, earth, air, water at your disposal here. And Sun God Ra, so that is also King of Wands, this element of fire. I think Judgment is actually a fire energy as well. So it's sort of, once again, you know, activating your passion. And, you know, the Egyptians, Spirit saying Egyptian guides could be helpful for you, because if you are going through a transformation, you are moving into alignment, because your awakening is here. I think this is what this is about. You're moving into alignment with your passion and with your emotional well-being. Okay, Taurus. So the Egyptian guides, Egyptian gods, goddesses, or any kinds of, you know, figures that you feel resonant with could be helpful, because they are very transformational. They help people through hard yakka, and they are, a lot of them sort of, well, the Egyptian, a lot of the Egyptian guides kind of are very closely associated with the collective on Sirius. So the Sirians are very strong and very spiritual, but also practical, grounded. They're quite, you know, physically integrated as well. So they're kind of very holistic is the word I'm looking for. So maybe, you know, some holistic, looking at your mind, body, spirit complex. Okay. If I can use the words of Thoth. And Thoth could be a spirit guide. Okay. For you. So, yeah, let's look at the bottoms of the decks for you, Taurus. Queen of Cups. Yeah, so this cup energy, you're wanting to move through into this, you know, page to the knight. Now we have the Queen, so this is beautiful. Maybe you're looking to move into your creativity, intuition, spirituality here, a bit more, Taurus. Nice. That's definitely kind of confirmation of a nice flow progression there for you. King of Cups as well. Wow, a different deck, but basically a divine counterpart. So divine feminine, divine masculine. King of Cups is a really nice energy. It talks about compassion, understanding, and also navigating through this, you know, grief and loss and that type of thing. The King of Cups can also be a call for you that, you know, if you need support from like a professional, understanding, compassionate professional that is experienced in dealing with, you know, Five of Cups energies, then that could be useful as well. But it might be also saying, Taurus, that you have the ability to activate that energy within you as well. Okay. The interesting is, like, a lot of therapists and healers also go to see other therapists and healers because in treating people with other issues, their personal stuff comes up. So, you know, it's always a two-way street there. Four of Pentacles. So for you, Taurus, you know, protecting your energy, and yeah, I guess this is also about covering your bases financially. But it could also be asking you that this idea about feeling sort of stuck or limited, okay? And maybe Spirit's popped this in here to just sort of, if there's something that you're really wanting to do here that you love to do, but you're really sort of having trouble allowing yourself to go forward with that. This could be about looking at, your attitudes towards change, and, security and stability is a great thing, okay? But sometimes if we're too much in this energy, security, stability, we do find it difficult to even make incremental changes. So, maybe Spirit's just pop that in there to remind you to look at that if you feel that that's an issue for you. Okay. Yeah. And here we have, wow, the sovereign self, Taurus. 6 of Wands. This is success. This is about your sovereignty. Like, not only do you have awakening in the Chariot here, major arcana, but it's talking about, it says the sovereign self here, okay? So I think you're moving into your sovereignty here, Taurus. And there could be something, definitely with the possibly Syrian collective that you could feel resonant with. So, and maybe, it's just another idea in there that we're going to throw in, is that if we have sovereign and this in here, okay, maybe in a past life, Taurus, you could have been Egyptian royalty, okay? Likely, because the Egyptian civilization lasted for thousands of years. So, I mean, yeah, we've only been sort of, well, down here in Australia, I mean, we've only been kind of kicking around for a couple of thousand, a couple of hundred even. Yeah, I'm not really sure. But, obviously other continents have their ancestral things that have been going on for thousands. But the Egyptians are like that, okay. You just have that, those two cards that just seem to be joined for some reason for you. So, yeah, I hope that's been helpful, Taurus. And, yeah, this is, something to do with your awakening. And I think maybe you've hit on it here. This was just recently. You've had an idea, an insight, a download. Maybe there's been a spiritual connection or something that you've heard or you've seen that sort of really sparked a lot of ideas and potential here. And this is a decision around that, perhaps you're looking to maximize this potential or to move into that potential, which I have a feeling is something to do with the cups realm, like the water realm, spirituality, creativity. You've got 7 of Cups, 5 of Cups, Page, Knight, Queen. Yeah, you've got a lot of flow on cup energy here, okay? So emotional realm, creative, spiritual, intuitive, all that good stuff. So I hope that's been helpful, Taurus. I think we'll wrap it up there. And yeah, look forward to your next reading. In the meantime, have a great day and an awesome week. And I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.